If you're into global headlines, you need to hear why Melania Trump's Nobel nomination is making waves. This isn't just another celebrity news story or a fleeting social media trend. This is a development that's got the world's attention, from political analysts to everyday people scrolling through their news feeds. The idea of Melania Trump, former First Lady of the United States, being nominated for one of the most prestigious awards on the planet, the Nobel Peace Prize, has sparked intense debate, curiosity, and even a bit of confusion. Why her? Why now? And what does this say about the current state of global affairs and the role of public figures in international diplomacy? It's not what you'd expect from the world of peace prizes. Traditionally, the Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded to activists, world leaders, and organizations that have made significant tangible contributions to peace and humanitarian efforts. Think of names like Malala Yousafzai, Nelson Mandela, or organizations like the United Nations. So, when Melania Trump's name appeared in the conversation, it caught many off guard. Some people are excited, seeing it as a sign that anyone can make a difference, while others are skeptical, questioning whether her actions truly measure up to the legacy of past laureates. Let's break down what's really going on. To understand the full story, we need to look at the timeline of events, the people involved, and the broader context of the Ukraine-Russia conflict. This isn't just about one letter or one gesture. It's about how symbols, words, and public figures can influence international conversations even in the midst of war. So, here's the scoop. In August 2025, Florida Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna suggested that Melania Trump, yes, Melania, should be considered for the Nobel Peace Prize. Luna, a rising star in the Republican Party, made the announcement during a press conference, citing Melania's recent efforts to bring attention to the plight of children affected by the ongoing war in Ukraine. According to Luna, Melania's actions went beyond mere words. She argued that Melania used her platform to advocate for peace and humanitarian aid at a time when the world desperately needed it. Why? Because of her surprising role in the Ukraine-Russia conflict. While Melania has often been seen as a reserved and private figure, she stepped into the spotlight in a way that few expected. Her involvement wasn't about political speeches or grandstanding. Instead, it was a personal, emotional appeal that resonated with many. In a world where political leaders often speak in carefully crafted sound bites, Melania's approach felt different, more direct, more heartfelt, and for some, more genuine. It all started when Melania wrote a heartfelt letter to Russian President Vladimir Putin, delivered by Donald Trump during a summit in Alaska. The letter, written in Melania's own hand, was said to be deeply personal, focusing on the innocent victims of the conflict, especially the children whose lives have been upended by violence and displacement. Donald Trump, attending the summit as a former president and private citizen, agreed to deliver the letter directly to Putin, adding an extra layer of intrigue and diplomatic drama to the story. The letter called on Putin to protect children impacted by the war, saying, "In protecting the innocence of these children, you serve humanity itself." This simple yet powerful message struck a chord with many. It wasn't a demand or a threat. It was a plea for compassion, a reminder of the human cost of conflict. The letter quickly became a topic of discussion among diplomats, journalists, and activists, with some praising Melania for using her voice to advocate for the most vulnerable, while others questioned whether such gestures could really make a difference. That simple message got global leaders talking. Within days, the letter was being discussed at international summits, debated on talk shows, and shared across social media platforms. Some leaders saw it as a much-needed call for empathy in a time of escalating violence, while others viewed it as a symbolic gesture with little practical impact. Regardless of where people stood, one thing was clear. Melania Trump had managed to insert herself into one of the most pressing global issues of our time, and people were paying attention. Ukraine's President Zelensky publicly praised Melania's compassion, calling her letter a beacon of hope for families caught in the crossfire. He thanked her for shining a light on the suffering of Ukrainian children and urged other world leaders to follow her example by putting humanity first. Zelensky's endorsement gave Melania's actions even more visibility, turning what could have been a minor news story into a major international talking point. While Turkey's First Lady encouraged her to also speak up for kids in Gaza. The conflict in Ukraine isn't the only humanitarian crisis in the world, and Melania's letter sparked a broader conversation about the responsibility of public figures to use their platforms for good. The Turkish First Lady's comments highlighted the interconnectedness of global issues and the need for solidarity among nations, especially when it comes to protecting children from the horrors of war. But critics say her gesture was mostly symbolic, especially since fighting in Ukraine continues and tragedies still happen. Some argue that while Melania's intentions may be good, real change requires more than words. They point to the ongoing violence, the displacement of millions, and the daily reports of casualties as evidence that symbolic gestures, no matter how well-intentioned, are not enough. Others worry that the focus on celebrity involvement can distract from the hard work being done by activists and aid organizations on the ground. So, what are Melania's chances? The Nobel Peace Prize is notoriously difficult to predict. The committee receives hundreds of nominations every year, ranging from world leaders to grassroots activists. The selection process is shrouded in secrecy, with committee members forbidden from discussing their deliberations. Even the criteria for what constitutes a significant contribution to peace can be subjective, leading to heated debates and surprise winners. The Nobel Committee's process is super secretive and competition is fierce, with others like Yulia Navalnaya in the mix. Navalnaya, the widow of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny, has become a symbol of resistance and hope for many in Russia and beyond. Her nomination, along with those of other activists and organizations, means that Melania is up against some truly remarkable contenders. The committee will have to weigh the impact of her actions against those of people who have risked their lives for peace and justice. Will Melania Trump join the ranks of Nobel laureates? Only time will tell. If she does, it would mark a dramatic shift in the way we think about the power of public figures to influence global events. It would also raise important questions about the role of symbolism, celebrity, and compassion in the pursuit of peace. Whether you see her nomination as a genuine recognition of her efforts or as a controversial choice, there's no denying that it's got people talking. And that, in itself, is a testament to the power of the Nobel Peace Prize to spark debate and reflection. Drop your thoughts below and don't forget to follow for more current affairs explained fast. Whether you agree with Melania's nomination or not, her story is a reminder that in today's interconnected world, anyone with a platform can make a difference, sometimes in ways we least expect. Stay tuned for more deep dives into the headlines that shape our world.